Supervisor Gore.
Um, I want to appreciate that we also have Mark Heine here. Is it okay if I'd love to ask you a question, if you wouldn't mind, sir? We're here for this side of the work. First of all, just wanted to thank you and also Chief Nichols. We saw you up there on day one. There was a big thing that happened here early on, which was an all call and a real surge on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, Monday, that really led to a lot of these lines holding. I just wanted to ask, you had mentioned to us that that's something that we're doing more coming out of Tubbs. That was something. And we saw, I think, that in Kincaid also, when kind of the locals broke off from the big detachment of what was managed under CAL FIRE, under Incident Command. And so maybe just a little bit of that. I'm also interested, do we have participating fire agencies from outside of the county, or just CAL FIRE and county agencies on the ground? Because it was just really impressive, the response and keeping it boxed in.
Yeah, thank you, Supervisor. So as Jeff mentioned, the fire started a little after 12:30. Chief Nichols from CAL FIRE was the initial incident commander up there, and he and I connected pretty fast. Within about 2 hours, we had that intelligence flight that I think I shared with you in the last presentation. Plane made a pass over the fire, streamed down live data to us, and told us within an hour that was going to be into the Dry Creek Valley and probably impacting residents there. So we do have a tool that came out of the Tubbs fire for the county fire agencies, and that's a one-tone dispatch from Redcom that activates every fire station in the county and everybody's cell phones and pagers at a single time. And it's a tool to get as many on-duty firefighting resources to a single spot as quickly as possible. Last time that tool was activated was on day 2 of the glass fire when it came over Skyhawk. So between Ben Nichols and myself, we decided we needed that tool this time. So that was activated Sunday afternoon. That was able to put over 51 firefighting resources from across Sonoma County on Dry Creek Road in about 45 minutes. So that's why we had no structure loss after those resources were in place. They did a great job with all the structure defense there. Some of those resources have since been released so that they can get back to their home agencies in the county, and many of those resources are still committed. I expect Sonoma County's local government resources to be released by probably Friday, assuming everything remains well on the fire. So this fire was fought by CAL FIRE resources and Sonoma County fire agencies. I did reach out to my operational area counterparts in the adjoining counties. They were teed up, ready to respond, but we did not end up meeting them.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, very welcome. It was an excellent team effort. Jeff and I were on the phone many, many times. I was accused of speaking to Jeff more than my wife. That's probably very accurate. But it was a great team effort across the county, and every lesson that was learned out of 17 fires, the 19 fires, 20 fires came to fruition and was utilized at this fire.
Just for our understanding, you drive out there, there's not a lot of smoke anymore. There are hot spots. There are areas that they're still dumping on. There are hand crews out there still digging. There are lines coming out of creeks that are, or off of hilltops and water storage tanks that are still dousing out hot spots. How long can we anticipate activity in that region if it keeps going the way that it does right now?
I think you'll probably see firefighting assets signed to this for another week or so, just as a precautionary measure. But the fire is not going to grow anymore. The perimeter is well secured right now. There's little pockets of vegetation inside the burn perimeter that crews are going to still deal with for some time. So you may see an occasional smoke come out of the middle of the burned area from time to time. We did up until yesterday get aerial recon flights over the fire from the fire risk plane, and we're not showing any significant hotspots in infrared technology right now.
I think it's I'll let you speak to this, but CAL FIRE does a source investigation as a part of any of these. At this point, there's nothing that links it to the prescribed fire that CAL FIRE and you all participated in before, which was actually quite a good distance away from the start of this fire. And the start of this fire is actually very close. Well, it's right off of a road across from the marina, a high human activity area. So we'll wait to see what that says. There's no definitive nature, but for the folks online who are saying this was caused by a spark from a controlled burn that was across the lake and away, there's absolutely no proof of that either. Is that correct?
That is correct. CAL FIRE's Law Enforcement Division investigates all fires of unknown origin. So they are investigating this one as well as they would on any fire. But there's absolutely been nothing that links those two incidents together.
Also, final point is that our understanding is first time in at least Northern California that those air resources have flown at night. And as you mentioned to us before, ironically, a week and a half before this event started, is that the internal policies are that they have to fly that terrain during the day to be able to continue at night. So they're not just going straight to goggles and infrared, but understanding is that at least two Chinooks and maybe some other aircraft were flying at night with infrared, which is a huge part of our fire defense going forward. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is correct. So that was a huge new asset to us available this year that we haven't had in the previous years. The CAL FIRE helicopters and their contracted helicopters are night vision goggle equipped and trained and certified now. So we had two Chinooks, big twin blade helicopters flying the fire at night, able to make water drops, coordinating with the crews on the ground. We've never had that ability before. And so that is a huge advantage. They made a huge difference. In fact, while they were flying, we also had to use a helicopter for a rescue of a firefighter that had been injured on the fire line. So huge advantage for us this year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other